Ayer Planning Board. Today's May 5th. We are going to make a slight change to the agenda. One quick item before we start the public hearing. On the agenda, Depot Square 2 A&Rs, approval not required. Robert's going to present that. Carly, I guess, is not going to be with us. But we'll move that ahead after the announcements, unless I have any objections. Is that all right with everybody?
Go right ahead.
All right, all right.
Lead on.
Let's go through my announcements. Jim Fay has been elected again to the Ayer Planning Board. He's not able to attend tonight. He will be here next month. We have a new Economic Development Director on board. His name is Alan Manoyan. He just started, and he will be attending our meetings in the future. We're looking forward to having some expert advice and guidance from Alan in the future. Third big announcement is my resignation. On June 3rd, I'll be leaving the Ayer Planning Board. I'm going to be relocating out of town. It's going in, so it's a plan I've had in the works for a while now, and I have a lot of regrets in leaving the town. But I think with the board reorganization and the help of Sandy Bean upstairs, she's our new administrator, and the new Economic Development Director, hopefully we have a smooth transition. So June 3rd, I'm done. That opens up a seat to be filled by appointment, joint appointment of the Ayer Board of Selectmen and the Ayer Planning Board. So any folks out there who would like to be appointed to the seat until the next election, which is in April of next year, contact Robert Pomprion. Send a letter of interest. It's a fun job. It really is. And I'll miss it. It's been good times. Those are all the announcements I have. Anybody else? Anything exciting out there going on? All right. Let's go right ahead to Depot Square 2 A&Rs 2. Approval not required. Robert Pomprion is going to describe what's going on here.
Mr. Chairman and members of the Planning Board, thank you, and thank you for the consideration to come early. I will be brief. What's before the Planning Board are two A&Rs that are conditional, as the Planning Board is aware, on approval by town meeting. They have to do with the proposed eminent domain by the town for Depot Square. There are two articles on the town meeting warrant that require a 2/3 vote by town meeting. Article 36, which is the first A&R, and if, Mr. Chairman, if there is an objection, I can...
Right ahead. The mouse is right here.
Oh, okay. I can just...
Oh, you can do that?
I can just put it up here.
Oh,
Wait, I do have a password. I came prepared. Keep it.
And now everyone on TV has it too.
Good point. Good point.
I'm sorry,
Good
Robert.
point. We will have to change that. But so the first A&R request is for Article 36, which is just what we're calling the Depot Square access property, which you can see outlined here. In the event that town meeting authorizes the eminent domain on May 9th, in terms of procedure, after that vote, the Board of Selectmen will have to call an open session meeting to execute what is called an order of taking. And the part of that order of taking will include an approved A&R. So again, we're on a time crunch. This doesn't preclude the vote of town meeting. This doesn't assume anything, but as has been reported and we've reported out, if it does pass at town meeting, we have to move quickly in terms of the federal grant and so forth.
okay.
So this ties into Article 36. Upon the Planning Board's approval, and assuming town meeting approves, we will have the Mylar then per your vote for members to come in and to sign.
All right.
So that's Article 36, which is just the access property. Article 30.
There we go. That's it.
That's it. Article 37, as many are aware that's been reported out, is the proposed eminent domain taking of the access property to include the Advocates building as well. So that's the second A&R, includes the access and the building. The certified appraisals are being completed as we speak, and as the board has indicated, town meeting, all the voters at town meeting will have the exact price of both scenarios because the town has to pay the appraised value to the property owners, and as reported procedurally, from the time that it's recorded, the property owners have up to 3 years to challenge the town on the price.
Okay.
So for tonight, I'm respectfully requesting approval of both A&Rs. Of course, as the planning board is aware, that's conditional upon what happens at town meeting. If town meeting doesn't pass either article, the A&Rs don't get recorded. If they pass Article 37, which is just the access property, that one would be recorded. If they pass Article 38, and that's the scenario.
36 and 37.
Excuse me, right, 36 and 37.
It's been a long day.
Yes, that would be recorded, so,
All right, I understand all that.
okay, so.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we, just for the record, we approved 2 A&Rs as submitted by the town administrator.
And Mr. Chairman, as I mentioned, with your approval, assuming that town meeting approves, the Mylars will be in my office for members to come in to sign. But we were asked if there is an objection, if members would just sign these for town council, which they're not going to be filed. They
Okay.
can't without town meeting.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the planning board's consideration, and thank you to others in the audience for letting me bring this up first.
Happens all the time, thank you.
We can always do that.
That's right, that's right.
Who said Calvin wasn't going to be here?
There's Calvin.
I saw him walk by, I didn't know it was coming in. I have to change the password everywhere,
You
right?
don't have to change the password, you're absolutely right.
Sorry about that.
That's the way.
Okay, all right, and I'll get copies. Again, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, without further ado, I'm going to open the public hearing for Riley Jane Farm. The way I like to do it, I'm going to open it up, I'm going to read the legal notice. We're going to let you make a presentation, Nick. Board will give up any questions. We'll go through department head comments. We'll open it up to the floor. Not too much interest here, it's kind of surprising. And then we'll close. So I officially open the public hearing for Riley Jane Farm. I'm going to read the legal notice. The Ayer Planning Board will hold a public hearing at 6:15 p.m. on Thursday, May 5th at Ayer Town Hall to consider the application for approval of definitive plan known as Riley Jane Farm. Plan dated April 2016. Location is 114 Pleasant Street in Ayer. Assessor's map, map 12, lot 1 and 106, map 13, lot 9. The application is dated April 20th, 2016. The applicant proposes to develop 16 units of housing on approximately 44 acres. The land is zoned Residence A2. Copy of the application will be on file by April 20th, 2016 at the town clerk's office, and that was posted in the Neshoba Valley Voice on 3 different dates: April 15th, April 22, and April 29. All right, let me bring up.
It's not 6:15 yet.
All right,
Sorry, good job.
did we post it for 6:15? Okay, we can wait 5 more minutes. We'll be productive. I'll read the legal notice again. We'll start at 6:15, just to be
Okay,
official, and we can take care of some stuff while we're doing it.
perfect.
This is a bill. It's the final bill from Green International. This is for Global Montello gas station. We hired a peer consultant. They came, the consultant came to our coordination meeting for the construction and development. That was the last thing they had to do. We owe $875.
That's passed through.
This is, yes, they've got, the money's in the bank already.
Yep.
Yep.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. So we have approved payment of the Green International Affiliates invoice dated April 12th.
For $875.
for $875. And we're all
Okay,
inside.
April 12th?
April 12th, 2016.
Okay.
There you go.
We didn't make them wait a full 30 days, huh?
Good. Let's move these things.
And who made move the motion?
I'm
Mark.
Mark, and a second from Jeff.
Okay.
Great. All right, what else we have? We have a number of meeting minutes. You can start reading if Nick bores you. There are actually 4 meeting minutes. January 26, February 4, February 18, and April 14th. Maybe you can scan them now.
Say, start with April 14th, it's quick.
Yes, April 14th is easy. January 26th is pretty easy. Now, February 4 and February 18 were presented last time. I have edited them. I've incorporated many of Jeff's comments, so I think those are ready for approval.
Can't believe you wanted my comments. That was a mess, wasn't it?
Jane and I worked through them.
Sorry about that,
We
guys.
squinted a little bit, but we worked through them.
You know,
I work in
think-
pencil. That's the
yeah.
hard part.
No, it wasn't hard, but
Okay.
I think there was something that happened in the formatting because all those
Yeah.
spacing
Yeah.
issues.
That's just my OCD kicking in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
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 That's all right.
So maybe after the hearing, we'll approve all those, if everybody's okay with that. That would be great.
When is the next meeting?
Next meeting, I wrote that down, I think. Next meeting,
June
I
4th,
didn't
right?
get that far. June 2nd, I believe. Agenda. Did you lose it?
It's not on the agenda.
Here,
What
There.
more?
June 2nd.
here.
It's June 2nd, the first Thursday?
You need a
Did you,
agenda.
No.
are you presenting as of June 3rd?
Yes.
After the
To
meeting?
make it through that meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
What?
I may or may not be here. I might be in New Mexico.
All right, we'll have Jim Fay, we'll have Jen, we'll have Jeff, and hopefully me, and that'll be a quorum.
Oh, perfect.
We just
Okay, because you're
informed
still
me.
going to be here.
Yes.
Right, Okay. Okay.
Have you had a chance to look at the minutes from April
Yeah.
14th?
Yeah.
All right, let's move
If I can,
forward.
move to approve the minutes of April 14th as submitted?
April 14th, as submitted, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jane, we've approved the meeting minutes of April 14.
Okay.
How do we feel about the rest? On the 26th, that was simply, that was Judy Barrett giving a
Mhm.
presentation on the zoning bylaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Motion to approve
Second.
minutes of January 26th.
All in
Second.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's 3 ayes. Jane?
Okay.
And February 4th.
And we were left with February 4 and February 16. Again, I went through both. I'm happy with both. I deleted any parts that might get us in trouble.
Motion to approve February 4 minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's 3 ayes, Jane, for
Yep.
February 4th.
Yeah, I'm sorry about those chicken scratches. I had every intention of actually sitting down in front of the
I was
machine.
like,
but
wow, I wish I could clone this guy. He could sit here and, because I get blind after a while.
I read contracts constantly.
Because of a glitch with the notification. So we started on the 4th and then we had to continue the
We had to
public
continue
hearing.
forward, beginning, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. That's why we had the special meeting. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from February 18?
Whatever they were.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Yes, seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. That's awesome, up to date.
It's so easy to do this when Jen's not here.
It's still on TV.
I know. I'm
All
kidding,
right.
But you're
John.
right.
I'm kidding, John. No,
No, you're not.
there's no
All right,
difference.
we're rolling around. We are
No
at
difference.
6:15. I have read the legal notice, so the public hearing is now open for Riley Jane Farm. Nick, you've got a drawing. I can also bring up, let's see here, landlord. All right,
Of the second sheet. Good evening, my name is Nick Collin. I'm with Wilson Crest and Ringwell, with the site engineers for the applicant. The applicant and the home landowners are with me.
Thank you.
Just submitted the green cards from the notification to the abutters.
okay.
For the application, as you mentioned in the legal ad, we submitted a definitive subdivision, residential subdivision. It's 44 acres. We're dividing it into 16 lots. We're proposing 14 houses and a lot around the existing house. So the infrastructure will support 15 houses, 16 lots. It's located at the end of Pleasant Street. What we're proposing is, as you can see on that plan, I also have a colored plan to try and differentiate different areas for you. This is Taft Street here. This is Pleasant Street. And right here is where we start picking up about 60 feet from our property line, where we actually start picking up and constructing the roadway. We're proposing to extend Pleasant Street to a elongated teardrop cul-de-sac. This distance from beginning to the point of intersection is 600 feet. 60 feet again is off the property. So we're proposing 640, 650 of the road. Off of that, we're proposing a new road, again with another turnaround. This is 350 feet, currently being proposed as Trevor Trail. As you can see, the darker green is the existing treed areas. The lighter green is the hay fields and what will be cleared to construct each of the houses.
Okay.
Part of the development is a closed drainage system, deep sump-putted catch basins, manholes that go to a series of best management practices. The majority of Pleasant Street, there is no high point, so the existing drainage from the high point of Pleasant back here will flow in the gutter line and continue into one of those inlets into infiltration basin number 1. Infiltration basin number 1 overflows and goes cross-country into infiltration basin number 2 before it discharges into the large wetlands in the northern part of the property. Trevor Trail also has drainage, but it has a high point, so it only has one catch basin for the full 400 feet or so. High point here drains back into Pleasant, again gets into the infiltration systems. This portion of Trevor Trail comes down and gets into a grass channel and a wet water quality swale, again before getting into a wetland system that again flows to the larger system. The last drainage area is off of one of 2 common drives. One common drive we're proposing to be named. It is intended to always remain private, not be accepted by the town, will always be the responsibilities of the homeowners. The reason it needs to be named is due to existing mailing addresses. The abutter is 112, the existing house is 114, so there's no more numbers between, even though we have 2 houses. That entire common driveway drains into an infiltration trench, which has an underdrain that collects to a low point and then discharged to a sand filter prior to, again, getting into wetlands and flowing in its natural water course. The second common driveway, again, which will always be private, it will have mailing addresses on Pleasant Street, as is graded from a high point here next to Pleasant. It comes down, gets into a grass channel and a landscape catch basin, which again goes into the infiltration basin. So all impervious areas on the whole property are directed in one manner or another to one of 4 treatment trains that have been designed per the Mass Stormwater Handbook. Other items that are included within the development is the extension of the yet to be installed but permitted and planned Pleasant Street water main, which is actually coming right from Maine all the way up to Pleasant Street. It's proposed to end approximately 200 feet from the property. We're actually going to be extending, picking up where that plane left off, running it up Pleasant and actually around the loop.
Okay.
As part of that, another line will actually come down Trevor Trail and go cross-country and connect to a subdivision that was Nashua Street Extension. When that was permitted, a line coming down one of the proposed or now existing property lines was put in, an easement was put in, so we picked that up.
Okay.
And that creates a loop for the area. In preliminary talks, during the preliminary with the DPW and the director, he also requested that we also provide a means for a stub off of this extension over to the rail trail area.
Yes.
He would like, or he envisions in the future to connect that over towards the Victor Drive, Doug Drive area over through there. We're only proposing a stub. Again, there's a couple of different applicants and landowners that he would have to coordinate with.
Okay.
But we do provide an easement all the way to the edge of our property.
All right.
Lastly, the last utility that we're proposing is all of the dwellings in the development will be connected to the municipal sewer system. The existing sewer manhole is actually down here in the wetland, large wetland area.
Okay.
It's low enough where we can actually gravity the entire development with the exception of these two properties. These two properties will have what's called an E1 pump system. It's a small tank with a grinder pump in it. They'll have a force main that actually come to the right-of-way limit of the driveway, and then we'll connect into a clean-out and gravity into the system. So as far as the town is concerned, everything within their right-of-way is all gravity. There's no moving parts that they're responsible for. Again, it will all be the homeowner. That's really the really nuts and bolts of it. There was some interest as far as the preliminary. I can show you that, or just tell you that that was 34 lots.
Yes.
That was 2 years ago, and since then we reworked it and cut it down to 16.
Yep.
As part of the application, we are asking for 4 waivers. One of the waivers is actually a reduction in pavement width. Right now, the subdivision rules and regs call for a 36-foot wide roadway, which is pretty massive. What we're asking for is a reduction to 24 feet in Pleasant and 22 in Trevor. In Trevor, the 22 feet will actually flail, and the width in the cul-de-sac is back up to 24, just so that we're not throttling any movements in that area. That reduced pavement still comes with the curbing, the 3-foot grass planting areas, the sidewalk areas that are required by the bylaw. It's just reducing the pavement quite a bit. The second, actually I'll skip over the second and go to the third. The third is the minimum pipe size of 15 inches for any storm drainage.
Right.
Further down in the subdivision rules and regs, we have to design each of the pipes so that the hydraulic gradient, basically they flow full in the 25-year event. What our waiver is actually requesting is a minimum of 12, and we'll still design for the 25. The 12 is actually oversized in a lot of these cases, so holding to the minimum 15 is just an oversized over expense and things like that. The calculations that we submitted show that they are meeting all the requirements of flowing free in the 25-year event. The last, or the fourth waiver we're asking for is to provide street trees at intervals about 50 feet only on one side. The reason for that is that on one, we're providing a sidewalk on one side, and with underground utilities, underground water, the sidewalk, the drainage in the roadway, the sewer in the roadway, you start running out of room on where to actually plant a tree. Sure, when you buy them and you plant them in their 180 caliber, you could probably put them in, but then, you know, as they grow, they actually start deteriorating things. So that's the waiver that we're asking for. The second waiver is the one I just wanted to explain a little bit more, is we're actually asking for a waiver from the maximum dead end length of a roadway. The maximum dead end length of a road in the regulations is 500 feet. Right now, what we're proposing, because we're extending an existing right-of-way, is we're extending only one road. So technically, Pleasant Street is a or dead-end road. However, from Taft, which is the end of that dead-end road, to our property is 750 feet. So any extension into this development and development of this property without a connection out, which we have, as people in the audience probably know, Jackson available. To not build Jackson, we would have to be granted this waiver. So we're asking for a maximum dead end length of 1,300 feet, I believe, 1,311, which is from Taft to this intersection of the turnaround, which is how the regulations say to measure it. Again, not granting the waiver, we basically would have to come in with the road and come back out either to one of the other right-of-ways that we have access to. Again, during the preliminary, we showed a plan that did that, in which came in and then double backed out of Jackson. So this isn't a dead-end road because we have a second way out. So these dead ends were limited to just the cul-de-sacs. Now changing that around.
The one on the back, that was with 34 lots?
Yes, this was actually what was submitted and approved under the preliminary process. This has 34 lots. Again, it has one roadway, and then it actually has Jackson.
Right.
Jackson's a paper street right now, has a driveway. I think it provides access to two properties.
That hasn't been determined yet, whether they have access to Jackson.
And this comes around, and this was about, this was 1,400 feet of roadway. This was 500, and then this is even longer than what we're proposing now. So that's really the full waivers. We're waiting for some comments
Yes.
from the town boards and things. What has come back has been relatively minor. I can certainly let the chair go over those.
Yeah, let me go through them real quick. The bad news is we don't have DPW yet. I was talking to Mark Wetzel. He had a draft ready. Actually, he doesn't even have a draft ready. So we are, that's the bad news. The good news is he says we're not going to need additional, he can handle it in-house. We are not, he's not recommending that we hire a outside consultant to do peer review.
Okay.
And I'm up with that. I mean, that's up for the board to decide, but I'm comfortable letting Mark Wetzel do the analysis.
That's fine if he says he's.
If Mark says he can do it.
Yeah.
So we are, and we'll treat it just like peer review. We will continue this hearing when we're done. We will hopefully vote at our June 2nd meeting. And you will be able to get his comments and hopefully deal with them by June 2nd.
I would. We do have a notice of intent filing with the Conservation Commission.
Yep.
So, you know, with the board agreeing not send it up to peer review, even if it's a draft, I'd like to kind of start a conversation so that we can kind of be more informed with the Conservation next Thursday.
Yes. So you want your own time.
Well, it'd be nice to, you know, we'll talk about, we have our own certain components that we'll need to talk about with the
Right.
Conservation Commission.
Right.
But, you know, certainly checking off in general, Mark is, you know,
Okay.
happy, would, you know, alleviate
All right, so that's
20
next-
minutes of conversation.
Next Thursday.
Yes, the 12th.
Thursday the 12th. Do you have that, Jane? On
Yep.
Thursday the 12th.
Thursday, the 12th, notice of intent
With
with
the
Conservation
Conservation.
Committee.
So we will get with Mark Wetzel and we'll get you at least the draft by then, right?
Yeah, either way.
Okay.
He knows where my office and my
Right,
phone
absolutely.
is, so he can give me a
And you've
call.
had, and this is not a surprise to him, he knows this is going on. And
He does know what's going on, knowing that it's a subdivision that we're anticipating, you know, getting accepted and taken over by the town. I designed the drainage. There's no bells, there's no moving parts. It's all pretty standard stuff.
Is he okay with the 15 to 12?
The pipes,
Pipe diameter.
he was all right with it during the preliminary.
Yeah. I think we've done that.
Now,
in
the
Cal's
preliminary, you
before.
did the pipe diameter of the preliminary with more pavement too.
Correct,
So there's less pavement now.
correct.
What's
but-
the difference in the impervious surface for pavement, do you know, offhand?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I know
50%, 60% less, or
that-
just out of curiosity?
Probably.
Because it seems like a lot less, there's
It
a lot
does
less
seem
road going in.
Yes.
How wide is current Pleasant?
Current Pleasant from Taft up to about the high point is varying. The max is somewhere around 27 to 28. After that little angle,
So you're matching close to?
There is a point in here where if you know, the driveway, it might be 21, 22. But what we're doing is actually constructing the full 24 width right from the project side of the 112 driveway.
Okay.
So that if Mark came in and wanted to repave this, he can certainly shoot for ours. The math, you know, geometry works everywhere. And then it's just, you know, cutting the curb cuts.
Not
with
adding
each
12,
driveway.
not adding
Right.
6 feet on the
Yeah,
side.
it's
Right.
stupid to go from 20 to
Well,
36.
It looks good on paper.
Yeah.
No, so you size the surface water runoff
Yeah.
for a much larger project, much more impervious, much more paved surface, I should say.
Well, during the preliminary, we didn't do those calculations
Okay.
because it's more of a lines on a plan to start the conversation. That's not exactly true because what the pipe is actually what's flowing to it. So under the preliminary, even if there was double the pavement, we would still size the pipe on what was going to it. So it wouldn't be, all right, there's double the pavement, so the pipe has to be double.
Well, I understand that you have more pipe and stuff like
There
that.
would be more pipe, but
Yeah.
there'd be more inlets as
I
well.
understand, yeah.
So,
But even at that size,
yeah.
12 to 15 was okay with them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially where it comes down to is when you have a catch basin, per the regulations, you need one at certain areas. You need one every 300 feet at low points, at intersections, things like that. Well, sometimes in the geometry, you might only have 150 feet or so, so the calculations say that minimal flow is actually getting there. Those are the situations where a 15 would just be absolutely overkill. Truthfully, a 12 is overkill, but 12 is a little bit more industry standard as far as cleaning and things like that.
All right, I'll continue going through department comments. Conservation, you're dealing with the NOI through conservation, that's a separate process.
That's correct.
It's not a subject of our discussion. The discussion of issues around Chapter 61 have come up. We did send a question to Town Council. Town Council has indicated that's not the purview of the planning board to deal with any issues around Chapter 61. We need to stick with our subdivision regulations and approve or disapprove of your application simply based on our bylaw and subdivision. As far as Chapter 61, that's a matter for other entities.
Correct. I can certainly touch upon that just so that,
That would be great.
no one feels that, you know, we're trying to push something out of your hands and into someone else's. Chapter 61A is a protection of if you have a certain number of area, you can make the town tax you differently on those. Now, there are caveats and protections or trade-offs to getting that. You have to have a certain amount of land, and it's protected. As soon as you want to try to sell that piece of property, the town has right of first refusal of a fair market offer. The fair market offer, in most cases, is a purchase and sales agreement. So, what happens is this process comes through and we actually create the lots so that we can actually put them on the market. If someone says, I like this lot and I'll pay you this much amount, before any of the owners can say, yes, you can have that lot, he gets that offer in writing, comes to the Board of Selectmen and says, I have this offer, would you like it? It's this much. And the town has the right to say, yes, we want it, no, we don't. If they say no, it's released. Once it's released, it's also open to other stipulations. For example, up to 3 years of rollback taxes to pay back those tax benefits and things like that. So the state is the one that runs, the chapters and things like that. And
You can just start stuff.
It's not until it's actually saleable. So it's, we have to get through this process to get something available to be sold before we can actually start that process to be removed.
Yes, and my question was, can you subdivide before all that is done? And the answer from Town Council was yes, go ahead. It's been an education for me, all this Chapter 61 stuff. So I'm comfortable with the explanation. And
Well, the reason for that also is that you have to think of sometimes people that have land go through this whole process more as a 401k equivalent. So you can go through this process and you have saleable lots that you can sit on. Yes, there are timelines, in the approval. But, if you want to retire and you have lots, and you can do other things with it as far as collateral and things. So it's, those people, they always have angles somewhere.
Right. All right. Let's see, what else we have? Building inspector had absolutely no comments. Approved. Taxes are current, according to the tax collector. Town clerk, no comments. Police department asked, and this is something we need to discuss. Right now, there are no street lights, is that correct?
There are none proposed,
There
no.
are none proposed. We have lately, since I've been on the board, not included street lights. I think the going opinion is less street lights, more evening sky. That's kind of a general movement. So it's up to us, I believe, to decide whether streetlights should be required or not. The police chief says the growing trend in neighborhood construction has been to move away from street lighting. From a public safety point of view, he believes that's a mistake. So the chief of police would like to see streetlights.
What's the bylaw say?
The bylaw is silent on it.
So if we, this is a conversation that we find in a lot of towns,
Yeah.
and we agree. The police are certainly right. What we find is it's actually more of an economic situation. The current regs and the current standard for construction is to have electric underground. So it's not as easy as going and putting a lighting fixture on a utility pole and connecting it to the wires because everything's there. When the electric service is underground, the power company actually has to account for that in the future. So there's a little bit of an extra cost to the developer. If they are installed, what happens or tends to happen is everyone says, well, a light here, here, and here would be great from a public safety standpoint, but once they're turned on, money tends to dry up, and then you have towns saying, well, I'm going to shut off this section, or I'll shut off every other, or turn on one at every 3. So it becomes a large economic decision from the standpoint of, do you pay for it up front, and then the town pays for it down the road as well? So it's, kind of that conversation. I will say that, the other growth is no one wants to see power lines, no one wants to see lights, and everyone wants to see trees, but trees and lights don't really mix together. So it's a convoluted issue that I understand the police department's position, but with the regulations being silent, I would say we'd like to leave the plan as proposed, not having them.
And I will say, again, I've been here since 2011, and any of the developments that have come up, haven't been many, it's getting hotter right now, but they've been excluding streetlights. Excluding Kohler Place over there on the pond.
Some of Pingree Hill looks like they have
Pingree,
superstructure for streetlights in it.
Pingree
The bolts are there, but nothing's been put in.
It's really up to this board
Yeah.
to decide.
The other question, before you get there, just one question I would throw out there is, these are not going to have, some are going to have exceptionally long driveways. In other words, has anybody thought about the design and the architecture of it and putting, per home lighting out into the streets?
No, not as of yet right now. The houses that are shown are typical houses.
Yeah.
They're not, I couldn't show you architecturals for them.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely correct that, these are long driveways. If there's no light, some people might want them.
Yeah.
So you might get this benefit. I will say that the existing field there now actually kind of provides some benefit where, you don't have a lot of trees on that side. On Trevor Trail, we are cutting into the forest, so they might have some more lights, but that's offset by those houses being closer to the road, so the porch lights and things like that might light up the area. But that's something that they can shut off rather than the police relying on them.
Sorry to cut you off, I'm just curious about that.
Yeah,
Because that's the middle ground. I mean, I'm dealing with other communities where dark skies.
Right.
They just don't want lights. we're different though. We don't have that much light to start with, so.
Any opinion, Mark?
None.
Okay.
I'd prefer less lights than.
Yes, and I'm there as well, so I think the opinion of the board is it's fine as submitted. I would like to get Mark Wetzel's feedback. I think he will agree. We don't need the expense of additional streetlights. So I will ask him, but I think for the record, Jane, the board is in agreement that no streetlights is okay.
Okay.
We do get a.
Do we want to do a vote for that?
Well, it'll be part of our eventual vote.
Okay.
If you could just note it so we don't forget.
Okay.
We get requests from the power company to confirm that that was our decision, so.
Right,
Okay.
which
I've written that.
they run all over.
Yeah.
They run into the problem all over the
Yes.
state where
Yeah. They want someone to buy the electricity, I'm sure.
Well-
The assessor's office also had comments on chapter 61. For the record, we're not touching that. That's fine. Fire department. Now, as far as the length of the dead end, I took a look at this and I said, wow, that's a long dead end. I do believe, it's my opinion, that the 500-foot restriction is intended for fire and emergency purposes. The fire department generally doesn't want something that's longer. So I put that, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
I put that out to the chief, and he said he has no problem. The chief has no problem with the length of the dead end as you proposed. Yep.
So just to speak about that, his comment about the fire hydrant. Because we're looping the water line through that, we're already proposing 3 fire hydrants. One at the intersection of Pleasant and Trevor, one at the cul-de-sac of Trevor, and then one right across from the teardrop intersection.
Yep.
So we chose those specific points so that every house was within 500 feet of a hydrant. We also chose those locations kind of twofold. They're at points that Mark might want to flush out the line.
Right.
As well. So
We're anticipating comments from Mark.
right, and if
In that
he
toward-
wants to
that-
move 150 feet or something, the water line's there, and we have no problem.
As far as the dead end, the length of the dead end, we dealt with that on Wright Road and Culver Place
Yep.
also.
Yes.
And I think the eventual decision was having the length with a cul-de-sac so fire can turn around is actually a benefit, so I'd be in.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. It's
Same here.
with allowing that waiver of our subdivision guidelines.
Yeah, uncomfortable or comfortable?
I am comfortable.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I heard it your way too, Nick. It just took a while to get to
I
us.
said, "Ooh, that took a turn."
thought you were outta here.
Actually, the most important one for last, the MGL requires approval from the Board of Health, which we received. Did you submit to them separately, Board of Health?
We submitted to them the one copy.
Yep.
That needed.
Oh, they did approve.
They have
Yeah.
approved.
That was Bridget signed that. She
Yep.
signed it as received.
Yep.
With it being on sewer rather than individual septics, it's
Yes, it's
Kind of an
pretty
A&R.
straightforward. That is all I have from the departments. I don't have further questions. I'm taking a look at our site plan review as part of definitive subdivision plan submissions. So I'm just taking a look at your checklist. I don't have any further questions.
I'm good.
Mark's good. Jeff?
The only thing we didn't discuss was the other waiver with the trees, and I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with the trees.
Yeah, I'm actually fine with the trees, underground, with the underground utilities and the trees.
Yep.
You have requested just a covenant and not a performance bond, which I think we're going to be comfortable with,
Yep.
as far as a guarantee that the infrastructure is installed. We have done that recently. We did that with National Street, just a covenant. But I do want to see what Mr. Wetzel has to say about that.
I will say that I cheated a little bit. That covenant is actually the one that was approved for Nashua Street,
Okay.
just with
Just,
the
yeah.
information
Okay.
updated.
And we'll deal with that, get a real one once we're done.
Cheating, that's being smart.
That's all I have.
I refer to that as doing the work once.
I did have to
Reuse my previous work.
I had to retype it.
Yeah.
What I can do now is open it up to the audience, and to the public. If you have any comments, please raise your hand, identify yourself and your address, and we'll go for it. Any questions from the audience? Yes.
Ruth Maxon Schultz.
Hi, Ruth.
I wanted to know if there's any calculations on how this development is going to affect the water drainage into the Rosewood Avenue houses down in there. They have a whole tunnel already with water in their cellars, and I can't see this is going to help them.
Mr. Hefner, if I may, as part of this development, I guess I'd have to ask, we aren't involved, I'm not even sure why that should be brought up in Rosewood Avenue. It's engineering, this is for Pleasant Street. Rosewood Avenue is their problem, not ours.
I'll get into that. So the development's been designed per the Mass Stormwater Handbook. We have to meet pre versus post rates of runoff. The two infiltration basins actually account for more than double the lost amount of infiltration from the proposed impervious surfaces. So, the drainage is designed in accordance with the stormwater handbook and things like that.
Right. And to answer your question, we did get drainage calculations. They are subject to review by the DPW. So I think essentially the answer is the applicant has in their application provided for the drainage that their project's going to create. And I think that's the best we can do for you.
So they have those calculations for the DPW then?
Yes, and they're on file here with the town clerk.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Ruth?
Yes, I believe that from what all the reading and all the explanation I've had of Chapter 61, that what is offered the town has to be at agricultural prices and cannot be given as if it's being a house lot. So I don't understand how what they're saying is that if a person decides, yes, I want this as a house lot, and then that's the value. According to Chapter 61, it can't be as if it's more divided already, or as if it's going to be an office park, or if it's going to be housing. It has to be at the agricultural.
And I don't want to cut you off, but I share your confusion. I'm not a lawyer. That was a question I had myself, and that is why I asked that specifically of council. Council came back, and as far as Chapter 61, that's an issue that the Board of Selectmen are going to handle. That's not subject to the planning board. We can go ahead and approve the subdivision of the land, and that's what the lawyers say. So as far as, you can take your question to the Board of Selectmen. I do believe, they have concerns themselves about chapter, they want all the requirements met as far as Chapter 61, and it seems to me we did ask those questions, and it's gonna move along on their side of the coin. So I don't have any more. I'm curious about that myself, but it's not subject to our review. All right. It doesn't look like we have any more questions. One more from Ruth?
Yes.
One more?
When I was at the planning board meeting for the definitive of Nashua Street, there was the definitive given, and then the DPW still had some concerns because he was at that meeting and he.
Yes.
So what I'm saying here is that they haven't presented it to conservation, or they don't have agreement from conservation yet until next Thursday.
Yes.
So that hasn't been done, and
Yes.
so I'm questioning whether you can give a definitive before conservation agrees. And also, if the DPW's concerns are not met totally and agreed to and everything before, how can definitive be issued if there's still questions there?
Well, it can't, and that's why we are going to continue this hearing until our next meeting, so that so that the DPW, so that the applicant does have a chance to look at the DPW's comments, respond to them, hopefully agree with them all, incorporate them into drawings as necessary, so that at our June meeting, we'll have it all tied up, and at that point, we can vote. Now, as far as the notice of intent on the Conservation Commission side, that is a separate process. I mean, you could get an approved subdivision, I suppose, and have trouble with your Conservation Commission process. That's two different processes, two different meetings. So you're welcome to attend that one. I guess it's a week from tonight.
Thursday night.
And so that's the answer to your question. We're not approving the subdivision tonight. It does sound like we're okay. We don't have any major concerns with it. But as far as the vote, it will have to happen after DPW's done their review. Yes.
Ellen Watson, 112 Pleasant Street. So my question is, if the Conservation Committee comes in there and says, based on the wetlands, a couple of the lots may be struck because they can't be built, I mean, is that can change as a result of what the Conservation Committee did?
Go ahead, Nick.
So if I could answer.
Yep, go ahead.
In 2014, we went with the Conservation Commission, and we filed an application where they've actually reviewed the wetland line already. So if you look at the plan up top, you can see that there's some darker areas. This area here, this area flowing this way, this area coming down, this pocket, and this area back here. That's already been ratified or verified as wetlands, and that's the edge. So the application that we have next Thursday is for the Wetland Protection Act, where that application was, let's verify the wetland line, and this application is work within the buffer zone. That's done. So we're all outside the buffer zone, working in the 100-foot requirement. So it's not so much that we don't have a clue or know where the wetlands are. There's no area that we're trying to develop.
Well, I don't know about how sinking an 8-foot, foundation is going to begin. I don't know if you were aware when the Fletcher property was developed that the house at the corner of Howard and Pleasant, they put an 8-foot foundation in, and it was filled with 8 feet of water. So I'm just wondering if this, if it's close to the wetlands, it's going to be filled with water.
Well, I think that'll come up at conservation. But I don't have an answer to your question. But thanks for asking. Do we have any other concerns, questions? All right. I'm going to entertain a motion to continue this hearing until our next meeting, which is going to be on Thursday, June 2nd.
So moved.
Can we have a second?
Yep,
All in
seconded.
favor, say aye,
Aye.
and we'll see you next month.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Have a
Nick.
great month.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
All right, we only have one more thing.
We already approved the minutes.
We approved the minutes, great.
Thanks, guys.
We signed off on the invoice. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought. Yeah. Thanks, Con. Thanks, Nick.
See you, Kelly.
Thank you.
I like the colored, Nick.
See you guys.
I like the color. That helps a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
It helps a great deal. So we're looking to, go ahead.
The only thing that's left is a bond release for Bob Prescott. He's the developer of Norwood Avenue. It's very simple. We have Mark Wetzel's approval. They want the bond for the project. This is Elizabeth Estates. I don't know who's familiar. I'm very familiar. They want it reduced by $25,650. DPW has inspected the work. Pavement has been completed in accordance with the approved subdivision plan. We are recommending that a 5% retainage be held this work until final completion. I talked to Bob Prescott. He's going to finish that project this year. He's on target. So he would like to get $25,650 released. Do I have a motion?
Minus 5%.
5%, we will continue holding 5%.
So the 25,650 leaves 5% behind.
Yes, that's
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The aye. There are 3 ayes. Jane? Just let me look at our next meeting is going to be on June 2nd.
Second.
You'll let us know, Mark, what your
Yep.
plans are.
Yep.
It would be great to have you here.
It's a Thursday, so I can probably move the trip to Friday.
That would be great if you could, as many people as possible to approve this subdivision would be great. I don't anticipate,
That's these guys, that's
I
right.
talked to Mark Wetzel, I don't think I said, he didn't have major problems with this, but he might have minor tweaks.
Look at that, I've already got it in there.
It looks like they've done all the work for the last one,
Yeah.
just because it's a reduction in size of projects and stuff like that.
Yes, and I
think
suspect
the
that's
issues for-
why this room isn't full.
And I
The
suspect-
neighbors are appeased by that, and I think that's
Just
great.
going from 34 to 16.
Yep, absolutely.
It does raise an interesting question about Chapter 61A, but I think it's a, it's not our purview.
Not our problem. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, folks.
I'm going back to